Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your college basketball Tuesday action. We're going to have 6 games. I believe we have 5 ranked matchups and then one I think it's a good game as well. Some of these cross-conference matchups, I think it's going to be good. So don't forget, hit that thumbs up, put in the comments what you like. Let's test for today. Put the Florida-Duke score. So who's going to win and the total number of points together. So if you think Duke's going to win and the score is 70-60, you put Duke 130. If you come closest without going over, we use the Price is Right rules. We'll pick one winner to get a week pass from either India, Cowboy, or me from any sport you like. So if you want college basketball, NBA, whatever you like. So put that in the comments. You got to do it, of course, before the game starts. Okay. If you want in our top plays, very simple. Got a 10% off promo code. This week's 10% off promo code, good all the week long through Monday, is 10% off code is present10. So that's good if you want a week pass of football, basketball, NBA. Well, actually not football, but if you want to start over. If you want 10% off code this week is present 10, you get 10% off our hoops action, either NBA, college basketball, NHL, if you want even that, props, whatever you like, 10% off for a week pass. Instead of 99 becomes 89. If you wanted the day pass, instead of 30 becomes 27. So use that promo code. IC's been hot, especially in college hoops. I mean, absolutely tearing it up, number one here at Doc Sports. So make sure you get in on his top play tonight. I do believe he has a 7-unit tonight, which you can always get under the grid there over at your membership page. All right. Don't forget about the YouTube premium products right here. Click the link in the description to get in. Just $49.99 goes really well with one of your subscriptions over at the website as our top plays. And these are just under our top play level. If you get on any of these levels, the link is in the description to purchase. Okay, IC, let's go. Great matchup here to start off. Iowa, Michigan State. Michigan State's favored by 6. They've looked extremely powerful this year, beating everybody in their wake. Total 134.5. What do you like?
State team that still coached by Tom Izzo, which is incredible. Tom Izzo sitting at around 70 years of age right now, but he has one of his best teams. They just beat North Carolina, they beat Kentucky, they beat Arkansas. For Iowa to do well, right? Michigan State beat them 91-84 last year. You get the starting of the conference opener, so to speak. Here. I got to tell you, even though Michigan State beat North Carolina and beat Arkansas, those are 2 quality wins, they're still a pretty young team, right? That win against North Carolina, Michigan State really poured it on in the last 10 minutes. Otherwise, North Carolina also shot 4 for 23 from three-point line, which is why they lost. I think this is an opportunity. By the way, Michigan State also has Duke on deck. I think this is an opportunity for Iowa to do well. Iowa has not been tested here. Ben McCollum here took over from Fran McCaffrey, if you remember. Ben McCollum obviously used to coach Drake, took him to 31-4, and now he's got this team 7-0. Craig, he's 38-4 over the last 2 years in college basketball. That is fantastic. So this is a team that's already beaten Xavier by 19. It's already beaten Grand Canyon and beat Ole Miss as well. I'm going to back the +6 here. I think Ben McCollum gets these guys up. I don't think Michigan State has been really challenged. Ben McCollum has a couple of seniors here. He's got the more veteran team. And we're going to see what Michigan State is made of here.
And he's got the Sturtz kid, the Ben Sturtz. He was the player of the year in the conference in Missouri Valley. I think that's a conference last year. He brought him up when he came to Drake. This kid's with 3rd different conference, 3rd different team, just like McCollum. He's a great player. Watch this game tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to take the +6. It's a fantastic public fade, and I'm going to take the +6 here.
All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports.
Oklahoma's 5-2. Wake is 6-2. Neither of these teams are obviously ranked coming in, but I will tell you this: there's a couple of edges here, and it depends on which edge you're looking for. Oklahoma's coached by Porter Moser, 20 wins last year, 20 wins the year before. Coming off a nice one against Marquette on the road, could have a letdown. Didn't play that bad against Gonzaga, lost by 15. He's got a couple of seniors on this team. Wake Forest is coached by Steve Forbes. Forbes has them back-to-back 21-win seasons. Big win against Memphis early this year. And I'll tell you what, they played Michigan really tough. They've lost by 1 point to Michigan, which was a game that Michigan had revenge. That just goes to show how good Wake Forest could be. Wake Forest didn't particularly play great against Northeastern, but they got it done. Northeastern also shot like 50% from the field, and Wake did shoot 70% from the field. Who do you like this game with this total? Or this line was only at 4.5. I was a little surprised. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good game for most of the game. I like Wake Forest. Remember, They should not have beat Memphis. They hit them on a miracle. They were down 2. They threw the full length, did the home run play, caught it in the middle, kicked it out. The kid hit a 3. Transfer they have this from Purdue, hit the 3, and got them a nice win. And that kind of needed that, to be honest. I think Wake Forest, they didn't play so great. Every once in a while, you need to win one of those. They had a 1-point loss to Texas Tech, which is really good, I think, and a 1-point loss to Michigan, which is by far the best team in the country that I've seen so far this year. So, I mean, you see their highs are very high. Of course, their lows can be low as well. I think, though, to play in a power conference like team like Oklahoma, I think they get up tonight. Give me Wake Forest -4.5 in this one. Next game, Tennessee and Syracuse. Tennessee has had a couple really nice wins. One bad loss, but early in the year, you challenge yourself. You're going to lose games. Tennessee's favored by 7, total 145.5. Of course, I did not think Carmelo Anthony's son was going to be nearly as good as he's been. He's had a nice season so far. Been a welcome, I think, sign. I don't think they thought he would get this much early as a freshman. What do you like here?
Well, I think Tennessee beat Houston, and then they had a letdown. Right. I think they beat Houston. They're feeling pretty good about themselves, and they turned around and they got beat by Kansas in a game that they probably should have beaten Kansas. So, you have a team here that only shot 28% from the field from 3-point land. Syracuse, they've lost 3 straight here, including a bad loss to Iowa State, 95-64. Did lose to Houston in overtime, to their credit. Lost 11 by Kansas as well. Adrian Autry is probably going to get fired at the end of this year. That's what I suspect. He had 14 wins last year. He did recruit Anthony, but the biggest win they've had is against a top 270 or top 200 Monmouth team, and that's it. I think Tennessee off a loss is a pretty good deal. I know Syracuse has revenge. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm backing Tennessee to win by a wide margin here. Florida Duke. Well, number 15 team in the land here facing the number 4th team in the land. Florida comes in as a Duke scores perfect 8-0. Duke gets to face the defending champs, which is always interesting. It's a team coached by Todd Golden, who played a role in recruiting their current Florida football coach, John Summerall. I think their wives talked, and they recruited him to come to Florida. So you have an opportunity here for Florida, losing to TCU by 4 and losing to Arizona by 6. Outside of that, did beat Florida State, did beat Miami, did beat Providence. Those are all pretty decent wins. Top 10 defense. He's still got a pretty senior-laden team, 3 juniors here. Duke comes into this game, beating Texas, beating Arkansas, beating Kansas. They've done really well, but Duke has a tendency to burn themselves out in the regular season. But then when you get to the postseason, they're just not as fresh. That would be the criticism on Duke. They were 35-4 last year, but they lost by 3 to Houston. I mean, they played phenomenal, but they do have a tendency to get a little bit tired near the end. Who do you like here, Craig? You think Duke lays the wood here early, during the regular season at home, 7.5?
Sounds a little too many points to me. I mean, if Florida doesn't lose to TCU, I would think this line might, because people kind of remember like, oh, well, they're not very good. They lost to TCU. TCU is not terrible, by the way. And Arizona's really good. So that opening win or loss by a small number, I think you kind of give them a pass on that. But if they didn't lose, you probably only this would be probably 6.5. So you're getting like an extra point here. It's a Duke team that's filled with freshmen again. We've seen how hard it is to win with freshmen. Ask Coach Calipari at Kentucky. He had all those talented teams, all those lottery picks, all those superstars, Hall of Famers, and he has 1 championship. Now Duke's trying to do the same model, and it's just not worked. I mean, it's getting them far in the tournament and stuff, but, the goal is to win it all. And I think you take Florida here plus 7.5. I think Florida, the experience, the size, I think it's going to be, well, the Boozer kid from Duke is the twins, but the bigger one is going to be a top 3 pick for sure. He's going to have a great game, but I think Florida's size will be able to at least slow him down. Give me Florida plus 7.5 in the 4th game. Now we got.
How's it? Sign up for our free $60 of the premium selections, which is docsports.com/ICCT. You get free $60 of the premium selections so you can try us out. It's the best way to kind of thank us for all the hard work that we do, along with liking and subscribing and joining on YouTube Premium.
2 more games for you because usually we do 5, but there are such good games today. We had to put all 6 good games. UConn, Kansas. UConn's playing great basketball right now. And Coach Hurley, he doesn't like to lose. This guy is super competitive. Not that anybody does at this level, but he takes it to the next level, maybe a little too far sometimes. UConn's favored by 2.5 on the road here. Total 141.5. What do you like?
Well, UConn lost them 2 years ago, and obviously Kansas did win. I'll tell you this about UConn though. UConn is ranked, by the way, and this really surprised me. UConn's ranked 5th in the country. I didn't expect them to be ranked that high because they were turning over so many guys. But they are ranked 5th in the country coming in. But you would think, though, Kansas, by the way, is now ranked 21st. Kansas was not ranked high at all, and I think they've kind of surprised some people with how well they've played. UConn did lose by 4 to Arizona, but you have a Dan Hurley here who's never beaten Kansas in his life. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that should be able to motivate. Let me make sure that that's true. Yeah, that is true. He's never beaten Kansas in his life. These two teams have played since 2016. 2016, Kevin Ollie was the coach, and he lost. And the one time that he played him was 2 years ago when he lost to Arizona, or he lost to them by 2 points, and then his one loss this year is to Arizona. Kansas, of course, comes off a monster win against Tennessee by 5. They did lose by 12 to Duke and by 13 to UNC, and that UNC is a bad loss because
I don't know. UNC's ranked 18th.
I don't know, man. UNC's biggest win outside of that Kansas win is a top 115 St. Bonaventure team. So I don't know. I mean, I also don't trust Hubert Davis at all. But I say this to say that I think Connecticut can go here, and this is a true home game. How often do you see Kansas being a dog at home?
Yeah,
on a true home game, right? And Connecticut's top 10 defense, top 15 offense, and Connecticut has not played a true road game this year. So I think that's going to really motivate them too. And the fact that he lost to this team previously too. So I think you put that all into perspective. And that 69-65 loss was also at Kansas, by the way. So I don't know why Connecticut keeps going over there. they're owed a trip here now, but I'm gonna back Connecticut here on the road. So this is the inverse of the Duke game. So UNC comes in as a 7.5 point dog to Kentucky. The funny thing is, a lot of people are jumping on UNC here. They're 6-1 and they're buying into the UNC. I don't buy into UNC. I just don't trust Hubert Davis as a coach. But that's just me. Kentucky beat them by 4 points 2 years ago, which is irrelevant because Coach Pope wasn't there at that time. But our man Hubert Davis was there at that time. North Carolina, of course, comes off that loss to Michigan State, ugly 16-point loss, and now they find themselves as a 7.5 point dog to Kentucky. They do have that Kansas win on their resume, which will help them later. Kentucky, of course, comes in. Kentucky does not have a marquee win, Craig. Their biggest win is against top 200 Valpo. They lost to Michigan State by 17. They lost to Louisville by 8. They need this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think these are very similar teams, and I think this is why the rankings are probably where they are. These teams can beat anybody when they play their best, and I think they're low. They can get beat by a lot of teams, especially in these especially the SEC is going to be a pretty tough conference this year. The ACC is not as much. But North Carolina, Hubert Davis needs a good year. I don't think he can not make the tournament again and keep his job. They do have a superstar, a freshman, the Wilson kid. I think it's Caleb Wilson. He looked great. He was the one guy that was a silver lining in a bad loss dominating loss against Michigan State. He's going to need to do that again tonight because they don't have the talent edge. Kentucky has the talent edge here. Thus, they're favored by 7.5. I'm going to take the over in this game. If you think you like basketball, if you like offense, you watch Mark Pope's offense. The guy, for a big guy, that to have an offense that runs and guns and doesn't really do anything back to the basket with any of his post players, you wouldn't think that, but that's the way Kentucky plays. North Carolina doesn't mind getting up and down as well. I think this one's going way over. I was thinking both teams get into the mid 80s. Let's take the over. If I had to take a side, I probably would take North Carolina plus 7.5. I think it's going to be, they're going to be down most of the game in that range, 5 to 8 points. And I think they'll probably get a late backdoor cover, but I'm taking the over as our official play here. So those are your 6 picks for today. Great 6 games. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. You can use this code right here, 10% off present 10 to get any of the passes. So go over to the leaderboard, or not the leaderboard, in your members area, the grid. And so if you like IC, you like me, you like this one, it's only will work on us too, FYI. But you go to the grid and get one of our plays, either hoops action for tonight, NBA. Of course, the 2-for-1 football pass is here at this link. And don't forget about the YouTube premium. Link is in the description. It's the edge. It's what IC calls the edge. I love it. So get in on it. $49.99 gets you $3,000 worth of picks per month. So can't beat it. All right, guys, have a great day. See you again tomorrow.